Oh man, there's been so much weird stuff we've had on the site. Stuff like the infamous Julie Collins Christmas DVD. A lot of the older DVDs we had in the warehouse from like the early days of DVD where it was just like, let's get anything that's in video on a disc.
30 minutes of Mount Fuji. It's just quite interesting. I also one time had to add a wasp figure. No joke, a wasp. My worst fear. I had to add my worst fear to this site.
So weird stuff I've personally added to the site that came across my desk and made me go, what the heck is this thing? I think it's probably going to have to be a tie between two different manga titles. One is called Colosseum, and the other is probably a little more familiar to people, Gleipnir. So both of these just made me stop and look at the covers and read the first volume description and just question what the heck this show was.
I was looking back at some of the sales I've done in the past. One of my favorite ones last fall I got to do on the Midnight Run sale. Being a little bit older than a lot of the people on the team, I remember the early days of anime booming in the late 90s and early 2000s. And a big part of that for me was Toonami on Cartoon Network and the anime featured on Adult Swim when it first started. When I thought of that sale, it was to celebrate some of that stuff that we grew up watching. And so like I did the whole gamut from back when it started in the 90s all the way up to current Toonami on Adult Swim. It was just a nice little nostalgia trip for me.
My favorite sale that I did though was probably my Gothic sale. I thought like it was just interesting how so many of our customers had the same taste in me. I'm like, yes.
We had the suggestion from a coworker who realized how many people don't have parents in anime, and they suggested we do an adoption sale featuring characters that are adopted, to which all of us kind of rebutted and said, there really aren't that many that are adopted, but we've got a lot of orphans. And therefore we have now dubbed an orphan sale that apparently does really well because those orphans are very beloved.